Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video. Now I've just finished another week of work in Hereford and now I'm off back up to the Peak District to do some more work welding on Marvin. I've got a new welder, haven't tested it since the Aiden and Biff situation at my dad's and tool station playing up, but got a new welder, got some wire, got metal, so yeah, just got to drive there, 3-hour journey from here, should be there about 11:30. And then yeah, so I'm going to leave now or I'll be late, but yeah, I just thought I'd film the journey up and then I'll be staying up in the Peak District and it might be part of this video, I'll see how it goes, but it'll probably be next week's video, exploring the Peak District and possibly going to see some people at the end of that next week, but we'll see what happens. And we'll just play it by ear as I always do. No plan is the best plan. So yeah, let's crack on, get on the road. And I've just turned the B2B on, but only on half power, so it's putting in 16 amps into my battery, equivalent of 30 amps at 12 volt, but my thing will do 35 amps if I need it to, or 70 amps at 12 volt. So it is big, but seeing as there's no solar and it's going to be miserable for the foreseeable and I'm going up to the Peak District, so there's definitely going to be no sun, I thought I'd flick it on. But I don't majorly need the power and I don't want to cane, and it canes the power and fuel efficiency from the van, so if I can run it half power then I will. So this twattish car in front, we were just driving along, I was going up a hill in third at about 30 miles an hour, just cruising, fell flat to the floor, and then this car comes the other way, and then I look in my mirror and this car is overtaken, and that car is only maybe where that arrow is there, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was a very scary moment. Yeah, if that ever happens again, I'm putting my brakes on way sooner so that the car can move and I become nothing a part of that, because this is my home, and just because of some dick. Yeah. There's a whole family in that car as well. 2 parents and 2 kids. Utterly childish behaviour. So this is today's bit. Gonna try and get this bit done. It's if you watched the last video on the 208, it's part 2 basically. I made this little panel, ground it back. That's what I've just drawn around there. It goes under there too. Cut out all that rot. And then yeah, so I've just cut through that, so that should come off now. Lovely. We got a spot weld there to get rid of. But yeah, so I'll get this panel off and then we'll have a look how good or bad it is. Ta-da! Oh, that's one day done. Welcome to the Peak District, people. This leak that I have only when I'm parked on a specific angle is there. It's so baffling. Only when this is the lowest corner, but not even every time. Only just sometimes when this is lowest corner. I don't even know. So this is quite nice. This is Alfredo pasta, so broccoli, creamy broccoli pasta. But I've got multicoloured pasta with it, and some basil on the top. It's very nice. So yeah, today went. I left at 8:30. Just gone, maybe 20 to 9. Filled up with fuel because I was virtually empty. I filled up at Stonehenge, drove all the way to work, and then drove to and from work and the park up, which is about 15 minutes up and down a few hills, and running the engine every morning to warm it up for like 15 minutes usually. 15 minutes it sits there. All that equivalated to an MPG of 19, which I was quite impressed with. So it means the actual driving is more like 20, and that involves going up and down hills, which is amazing. Just now I've gone from Hereford to the Peak District, Buxton area, and I got 90 miles to just over half a tank. The needle was just above the 3/4 mark, and when it got to bang on half, I was on 90 miles. The trip meter was, since I filled up. So 90 miles for just over half a tank, which half a tank is 35 litres, so about 38 litres. And I worked that out, and that's like 21 mpg. Just straight here, up and down a few hills, you know, getting into the later parts of the Peak District. Sorry, not half a tank, quarter of a tank. Yeah, if I was getting 90 miles to 35 litres, that would be terrible. No, 90 miles to 17.5 litres, because that is half 35, although then you need to add a bit on. I think I went for 19 litres in the end, so just over a quarter of a tank is 19 litres, and I did 90 miles in that, which was 21 mpg. Yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow, and we'll do some more welding on Marvin. Good morning. This is no microphone, just testing the waters. It might be terrible quality, but I was using it and I thought, seeing as I have so many microphone issues, what happens if I disconnect it? So I am about to go on a walk, but probably with a saw as well, because I know there's some decent wood, but it'll be wet, so if I can bring it in, then it'll be dry by tonight. I'm not low, of course, but just keep it bringing in, because I've got a large store of wood and I don't want to let it drop, because if it drops then it takes a lot of work to bring it back up. So I like to keep it maintained. And yeah, there's some good stuff here. It was pretty hard, not massive, probably that thickness, but pretty good wood. And there was loads of it, just branches everywhere, nice and dry and dead. Well, it'll be wet, but it's not green. I've just edited the Equinox video, pretty happy with it. So, this is what my microphone holder looks like. Many a cable tie and lots of hot glue. Left it near the fire, left you guys near the fire last night, and look, it's melted the hot glue from there, dripped down to here. Back to this audio. Let me know what you think's better, if I should just do away with the microphone, because it does cause a lot of issues in the videos. But yeah, let's go make it as fire. I forgot to mention is I got a new saw blade. Look at that, and it works so much better. Let's go cut some wood. Still hard work, but loads easier. Loads easier. Right, let's go back to the van. Get the sliders. Get warm and dry. I bet these people down there are thinking, oh, what a loser, he's got to go out in the rain. No, no, no. I'm thinking, oh, you guys, what a shame. You're having to pay to keep your home warm. Whereas me, it's free. Nah, I'm kidding. They're mostly boring campers though, in my opinion. Just your usual Fiats and Crafters. This one's quite interesting. An old Fiat. The painted green, got a light bar on. That one looks cool. Oh, and a wood burner. Yeah. So here it is welded. Not this bit. To do both of them together would have been way too confusing. But yeah, just went around there. This was the bit I did last time. Got covered in shit now. And then this was the bit I did yesterday. And yeah, there's this really weird concentrated bit of rust behind there, so I might put a little patch in there. And then here there was a little bit of bubbling rust. They tend to go on the inside here because this dip, I mean, if they wouldn't have put that gap in, it wouldn't go in the inside and the water would go down the hole. Anyway, they start to go there, as you can see, but that's nothing too bad. I'll be able to paint over that. No welding required. And yeah, so now I've done this bit, just going to grind this back with a grinding disc, then a flap disc, and then I'm going to crack on with this one, and hopefully we can get the window back in today, so then it's not open overnight. So I might paint that right now actually, so it can dry while I'm working on this bit. So that's it all done. I would have liked to flatten it back a bit more, but the metal was getting a bit thin, so I didn't want to take it back anymore. But that's good how it is. I'm pretty happy with it, and with a bit, just a little skim of filler, or even seam sealer or high build primer, you might, you know, not be able to see that if it's the van's dark colour, because they will be repainting the van the dark green again, I think. I'm not sure, but they're definitely going to be repainting it because there's red patches everywhere now. But yeah, painted that, and I'm just going to make a coffee because it's hit that point in the day, 1:30, and I need a boost, and then I can carry on with this bit. It looks pretty simple. I think I'm going to have to do a triangle on the front, then this piece that comes down here, and then that piece that goes down there. So 3 bits, annoyingly, and weld and grind, but it is what it is. So I'm going to put my phone on charge though because it's dying, and we'll come back in a bit. Falafel and pita bread again. Yum. I'm going to get stuck in and I'll show you what I've done on the van. So that's that, and then I've got this bit as well to go in there, which does go. There you are. Something like that. You get the idea. And then that will be done, and then we can get that window back in, and it'll be done for today, which is what I wanted. So yeah, I'm just going to weld this in now, and I'll be back once it's welded in. And this is what it looks like now. Pretty happy with that, considering there's a tiny little slither of metal down there, and then all of this as well. I'm pretty happy with it. It's turned out quite nice. Yeah, better than this bit. I don't know what happened there. Well, basically the two metals didn't quite line up, so I had to leave it because there's a slight, you might be able to see it, but it's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Point is, it's solid. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that considering how confusing that is and weird. But yeah, so I'm going to paint this now, let it dry, and then we're going to get this window back in, but I need to let them know that I'm done, so because it's kind of a 2 people job, and I need to get some string out because you need string to put it in. There we are, day 2 finished. I shut the door and all the crap from that hole up there fell down. Yeah, I just gave that a bit of a repaint. Yeah, that bit looks alright too. Again, didn't want to grind it back too thin. It felt like it was on the edge of being too thin. But yeah, I need to paint a bit over these bits of rust. Don't know where they came from. I must have just missed them last time. Then we'll get this window in and get a bit of string and some WD-40. We had to actually pry this one away because there'd been so much paint and filler. The reason it wasn't coming out was because it was stuck. So we got WD-40, sprayed it all in, released it all with my screwdriver on the Leatherman, went down the side of the seal. Because you can see where it sits. It sits way out here because the glass sits here on the outside of the metal, and then the rubber, and then there's just a little lip that comes there. So the metal and the glass aren't actually in line with each other, they're offset, so it has to come out front anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to call this a day, and I'll see you maybe later tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens, if anything interesting happens. But for now, I'll see you later. Yesterday I reversed up that curb. This morning I noticed one of my mud flaps was missing. Put two and two together. As you reverse, it pinches the mud flap up against the curve and ripped it off. God damn it. At least I haven't lost it. Yeah, I just got to bolt it back on now. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll just be like 30 mil shorter. So, here is this the next day. That was the hole I cut out the other day, and that one was. And now we got this one, and this one. So yeah, you keep digging to find more holes. But yeah, I'll start with the most hardest one. Get that one done, and then we'll move on to the few little ones that are just squares. But yeah, let's get that confusing shape out of the way. This is very similar to mine. If I can find a picture, I'll put a picture of my floor in my driver's side. It was a bit worse. I think I merged it all into one because it was just all shot there. Whereas this is just about all right. I don't want to be making loads of work for myself with massive panels. So yeah, that'll do, and we'll get that welded in now. Here we have the beautiful panel. As you can see, it's going to be fun to weld a few of these bits. You can't get the gaps as close as possible in every place. It's close in others and further away in other places, but that's not actually as big. That's that big. It's because we're at an angle and this is lifted up. If you look that way, it's almost non-existent. We're talking about this hole, by the way. And same with that one. Once that one pushes down, it's not too bad. They're about right. So let's get that welded in. Sun's come out for the first time in the Peak District ever. I mean, that's unheard of. So yeah, let's crack on and see once that's welded in. I fitted the mud flap back on, and you can tell what a difference it makes. Look at the state of that one after, that's about 10 miles driving, and this one after with that mud flap. Well, I haven't cleaned them since I put it on, so about a month. Look how clean it is. I mean, I know it's not clean, but if you look at the dirt coming over here and coming over here, you can see the difference it makes. That's the reason I put the rear ones on, is to stop it doing this, and filling that with mud as well. So when I light it, there's always charcoaly black really dry, you know, almost finished burning bits left in there, because I always lock it down. So you end up with some unburned bits, but they're bone dry. Obviously, you could probably almost light them with a lighter. They would certainly start to glow red if you put a lighter to them. So I always leave them at the bottom, kind of pile them together. If any big bits I might pick out, then I put a load of paper on top. If there's a big bit, I'll put that on. If not, I'll put some like smaller bits of wood, not particularly kindling, very large kindling in terms of kindling, but that'll just starts to get going, and those really dry bits at the bottom and the odd bit that you might put on top, they get going instantly, and any of the ones that the paper or cardboard didn't get a chance to light, well, they're now lit and they'll light them, which is why I don't need small kindling, and I don't need much paper at all, really. Just a couple of bits of cardboard from work. They got loads of cardboard. I always just pick a load. Well, when it's burner season I do. So yeah, that's going, because it's 16 degrees in here, so it's pretty chilly to be fair. So I thought, yeah, best get the burner on. Now let's put the kettle on the burner, as always. And sometimes it can struggle to get going. It's not the most efficient way of lighting it, but it saves making a load of kindling. And if I ever do, it never doesn't light. You just open the bottom door and shut the top one, get it raging until it is all lit, and then shut the top door. So I might have to do that because it's kind of phasing out. But because those charcoals, I'll show you. There's one of them. You can see it glowing back there. You can see the kind of rings of the wood. That is lit now. So if I open that bottom door, it's essentially like blowing on it. It's going to make it rage more, which will then light the rest, so that's why it's not an issue. So I'm going to do that now. Listen to it change. I like to open this one too, so it gets a bit of air and we're not completely shutting off the top. It takes a few turns doing this. But yeah, once it's there, then you shut that and open that one. Oh no, we've got a stray one. There we are. And you can see it glowing down there. And you can hear it starting to take off. Often that's way too much and I just usually leave it there. That'll do. And then when it's ready, I'll open this one all the way, even now. And then when it's ready, just shut it with this open, and then it'll be like shutting it a bit more. And then once it's going, properly going, and it's built with a nice bed of embers, you can shut this completely and just use the top one. So yeah, there's a bit of a technique to the burner. But that's the whole idea. If there's some embers left, like there was in that clip the other day, I never mentioned, but I turned the log over and showed you. There was embers there, so it was still going from the night before. All I'd done is put a big-ish log on there, not even a big one, just to last for the evening, really, not even the night. But it lasted all the way through till the morning, and it was still, I could still feel the heat ever so slightly on the burner. There it goes. Listen to that. And then if you swap them over now, it'll be way too soon. You've got to learn that. Took me a while. But there it goes, you can see it glowing. And I'll stick the kettle on there. And we'll make some dinner, which is probably going to be minestrone. Back at the park up with the lovely view. And yeah, let's have a chill out and then make some dinner. So next day, I've just gone around with some Obi-Wan and sealed any gaps to make it all watertight and stuff. And especially in the wheel arches, there's a little gap here which mine had when I did mine, because you struggle to make that exact shape. So just put some Obi-Wan all the way along there, up there, and even here where I did from earlier, because I did all this before. This wasn't the best work I've ever done, but I did this all in a day to get this wing back on the same day. It was a bit of a rush because I took this bottom wing off to put this repair panel on last time. In fact, no, this was the first time I welded it, back in March at my dad's. And the door's shut. And the day before they were picking it up, I was doing this wing and I took it off, and all of this was just non-existent. So I had to quickly make something for all of that, basically. But it's not pretty, as I say. It's not the best stuff. But I had to do it in a set amount of time. And yeah, it is what it is, and I did seal it on. This bit's a bit better, and that bit's quite nice. But yeah, this is the recent work. This is the bottom of the welds. I could flatten them back, but it's not that important. I was just in the wheel arch, and they'll get another coat of red oxide, 769 Rust-Oleum, and then I'll advise him to underseal it with something, because this is back with the work I did in March. Down here, plated that, patched that, did this, and also this side. So yeah, poor old Marvin, he's had a lot of work done to him, but we're getting there, Just, as I say, done all that now. I'll do a second coat later on once I've done the welding on this side, of which today's task is this bit here. Probably just the bit I've cut out, to be fair, including down there is a hole. And in there you can see inside the structural B pillar next to the, usually this would be like a seat belt fail, because it's within, well, I think if it's more up here it's within 30 centimeters. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to crack on and start making some cardboard cutouts and make this like new. Here's all the bits. So that one goes on there like that, and that's the step like that. That one goes to the side like that, and then this one is here. So let's get all them on the van, tacked in and worded up. Beautiful, look at that. Ignore that corner, it warped a little bit, but that pushes in. Yeah, look at that. Lovely. Not too bad for the little gasless. Winding away over there. It's got his little waterproof jacket on. Yeah, need a little square for there, which I have got. Not sure where though. And then that bit, which is just here. So I'll just get there. But yeah, I'm just gonna weld around here, down there, and then do a bit of upside down welding. But the idea of welding it all first as one unit is I've just welded all that while it was just sat on the step here. So it's like a little workbench, and I'm not welding underneath too much. I've just got to do 2 little lines under there. So yeah, see when it's welded. Done. Yeah, it started raining, so I had to slap some paint on it because it's 4 o'clock now, and I got to get all my tools in my van, pack up here and go. So yeah, basically I didn't get it finished. I took the stop off and yeah, didn't get it put back on. Also didn't paint the back of that. So, I'll get the paintbrush out now, I haven't cleaned it. The other side has like this capping on the end, and the other side's always rot out, so I'm going to guess that that's because it has the capping. So I'm just copying this one and not putting the capping back on because it's more confusing. So I'm just going to make like a U shape because this is too far back, bring it out to like here, put the bump stop thing back on, and then it'll be good. But yeah, I'm going to paint this now. And I have just done the second coat in here, not everywhere, just the places where it was more rusty than others. So yeah, and repainted over all the ceiling, and same in the wheel arch. So yeah, we're all good. I might get around to putting that back on if the paint's right. If not, Gil will know how to do it, because it's just 2 screws in there that need to go into there. Yeah, so that's not an issue. I don't really need to do that. And yeah, let's have I locked that bonnet? Good. Oh no, because I need to paint that. Right, I'm gonna shut up, pack up, and I'll catch you guys later. Right, well, that's probably going to be it for this video. I got most of the welding I needed to do on Marvin done. Well, that I needed to do this weekend. I just got caught off by that last little stop on the bonnet. But they're still above the passenger door. The passenger door has been a nightmare. They definitely should have just bought a new door, but by the time we realised that, it was too late, because I'd already repaired half of it. The driver's door is not as bad, but it's still quite bad, so I think it would be best if they tried to find one. If not, we'll fix it. But there's still left to do is sliding door panel, and on these vans the sliding door doesn't go down to the bottom. It goes to the bottom of the floor, and you don't have a step, and then you've got the sill, so you've almost got two sills that rust away. So it's really a terrible design, because you've got a massive step into the van, a sill on the bottom of the door, and then a sill underneath the door. Both of them are gone, so if they can get panels for that, then we'll do that. If not, probably not, but we'll give it a go if they want me to. As you may or may not be able to hear now, it's raining again without fail. I swear, every time I come to the Peak District, it's just soggy. The ground is always wet, but I've never seen it dry. Like, it's always just green. So yeah, not a place I'd like to live forever, the Peak District, but it's a lovely place. As you would have seen by the scenery, it almost reminds me of what I've seen of Scotland. I've never been to Scotland yet, but with the clouds over the autumnal orangey browny kind of hilly mountainy landscape, you know what I mean. Yeah, it just reminded me of that, driving through. To get to this spot every time, you got to drive over and through the valley, and it's so nice, the views around here. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you to, I'll put it on screen now, who bought me a coffee, much appreciated. Anyone else, links in the description. And now I'm going to just have some dinner. I've just lit the fire because the rain's come, thought I'd warm it up. The outside temperature gauge battery's died, so I need to replace that. So if you did like it, make sure you stay tuned till next week, and I hope you all are great, and I'll see you next week.